Hello and welcome to the North Central Journal. I'm Scott May, and joining us for this segment of the Journal is the president of Our Father's Table, and that is Brenda Quidoz, and a member of the board of directors of Our Father's Table, Sherri. And thank you both for being with us to talk about this most important organization. And Brenda, we want to begin with you and ask you about the mission of Our Father's Table, which we will refer to as OFT as we go forward, and what you do.
Our Father's Table is a feeding ministry, and so we provide meals twice a week on Tuesdays and Thursdays to anyone that is hungry. And we are a community meal. We are funded by private donations and things like that, so that we don't have all the regulations. So income doesn't matter. Location doesn't matter, where you live doesn't matter. You are welcome to come if you're hungry at that moment to get a meal. We just feed anybody.
Where are you located?
We're at 40 Bartell Street at the Faith Christian Church in Fitchburg, and we've been there now for, I think, about 15 years.
Sherri, who oversees the organization of Our Father's Table?
Well, it's primarily Brenda because she's the president, but I represent the church side of it, so I oversee as far as the church side of it. Security, we provide the security for OFT. We have quite a few volunteers from our congregation that help out right now, handing out the meals. Whatever Brenda needs, we jump in and help her out with it.
Now, who provides the meals? What kind of assistance do you get there?
We have a number of the smaller restaurants, the private restaurants, that cook our meals on Tuesdays. And we also have restaurants like Slattery's, Quidoz, and Happy Jack's. They all provide. We also have 2 nursing homes that cook for us once a month. The restaurants rotate. There's a shift. And then the 2 nursing homes cook the last Tuesday and Thursday of every month for us. Life Care of Leominster and the Highlands. And then on Thursdays, we have our own cooks. So we have a couple of different cooks that come in and cook the whole meal. The food is all provided through donations, through the food bank. We pick up at different stores. So everything is privately sent to us. It's not funded government by the government at all.
How has this year been different for Our Father's Table? I can't imagine the need out there. Tell us a little bit about that.
First of all, we never shut down. We've gone through this whole COVID thing, never once shutting down, because the need is great there. This past 2 weeks, we've been serving over 125 people each meal, which is very high for us. But it's been very different because we've had to go, before they would come in, they'd sit down, they'd form like a cafeteria style, pick up their meals, and then go sit down. And it was like a big family meal. Everybody knew everybody, they'd sit and chat. And then with COVID, they can't even come into the building because we can't have that many people in a building at once. So now we're doing to-goes. So that has just, it's been very different. We've had to set up completely different. We've had to package everything up, and that's how we have to do it now. And the biggest complaint from our guests is, when can we come in? We miss you. We miss sitting and being together. And that's their biggest, they appreciate it, but they miss the camaraderie that we all had when they came into the building.
Now, you mentioned that Our Father's Table is available not just to the community of Fitchburg, but anyone in need of a meal from wherever they are. You don't check people's personal IDs or anything like that?
We check nothing. We check nothing. They show up at the door, we feed them. We don't check IDs. It's just, when we were set up to feed people. And it wasn't set up to feed just a certain group, it's set up to feed the community. Excuse me. And that's how we've stayed. It's been a wonderful thing to feed whoever needs it. And then there's times where we'll have other things. We'll have clothing we'll give them, or winter's coming, we give out hats and gloves. That kind of thing is donated to us. As anything we get donated, we take, and we will pass it out if they need it. And there's many of our volunteers will buy things to donate too, because it's just, the need is there. We try to fulfill it.
That gets me to the next question. What is the blessing bag?
The blessing bag is, sometimes it's a backpack, Sometimes it's a market basket bag. It doesn't matter. But in it is deodorant, shampoo, all kinds of personal things, toilet paper, could have hats and gloves. Depends on what is needed at that point and what is available. And we just fill these bags and just give them to everybody. Toothbrushes, toothpaste, it just doesn't matter what it is. We also, when they do the meals, we do snacks. Last night we gave out 5 different snacks so that they have it not just at the meal, but they can have it when they're not there and have something else to eat, or snacks for school or whatever they're doing. You know, they're having school at home, they can have a little snack, whatever. We just feed whatever we have.
Now, Sherri, as we talk about the blessing bag, there was something you wanted to add to that conversation.
Yeah, I actually just wanted to add the whole thing with the blessing bag. I wanted to point something out about Brenda. You know, this whole thing of OFT, Brenda is really the heart and the drive of it. She has such a heart for the people. Our people that come is anywhere from children to adults, single people to families, and she's just awesome. I mean, how she treats the people, everything that she does and stuff. But you know, we hand out these blessing bags to the adults and everything, but she also does things specifically for the children. So like last night, we have a certain little boy that comes every week. She gives him a special gift. Last night it was a teddy bear. You know, and she's so driven towards, especially the children, and she just has a huge, huge heart for people. And I just wanted to make sure people understood that and got that out there, because that's just the type of person she is. So she gears things towards the adults, but she also gears things towards the children. And she puts up, sometimes there's some weeks she puts these blessing bags together for the children that are full of toys, that are full of stuffed animals, you know, snacks like she said, just different things like that.
So not just individual people, but full families that are taking advantage of your kindness.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. And it's not just on that side too of what we give out. The other side is our volunteers. We have children from the church who have been volunteering with us since they were 3 years old. And they spend hours helping us package up bags or getting ready for a meal, or they would come help set up for us. These children are just a blessing, as well as all the rest of our volunteers. And it's been amazing through this whole thing how many volunteers we still have that still come every week, twice a week, and do what we do.
If people want more information about Our Father's Table, where would they go to get that? And if people want to make a contribution or make a donation, how do they go about doing that?
So OFT has a Facebook page, so they can go in and get information about that. People call the church and get information from us, or people call OFT directly to get information. To do donations or contributions, you just make it out to Our Father's Table, and the address that you would send it to would be P.O. Box 2653, Fitchburg, Massachusetts 01420. So primarily everything goes directly right to OFT.
Well, we thank you very much for being here, and certainly for everything you do for this community, but for obviously the communities around Fitchburg as well, and particularly in this difficult time.
I just want to add one thing.
Sure.
All the volunteers, the cooks, the board of directors, everybody, even our accountant, nobody gets paid. We are completely volunteer. There is every dime that comes in goes back out to feed the people and do what we need to do. Nobody gets paid for anything we do. We're all total volunteers, which is nice, you know.
Well, thank you very much, and particularly this time of year when the need is always great, and this year itself and the pandemic when that need has grown exponentially. We appreciate your information, your being here, and your mission. Thank you very much.
Thank you.